Like I was never a creative either. You know what I mean? Like I've never done anything creative in my life. You can really do anything you want as long as you're obsessed with it.
Welcome to the Partners Podcast, where you get exclusive behind the scenes access to entrepreneurs who are relentlessly building real profitable companies. Join us as we ask them the hard questions so you can take away the mindset, strategy, and tactics that launch them to success.
Yo, what's up, Bryden?
What's going on? Place is crazy, man. Nice to see you, man.
Glad you made it. Today we have the legend himself, Bryden of Cliffside Cuts. He is scaling one of the best real estate media editing agencies out there. Some of the best edits I've ever seen. So shout out to you. Excited to do a deep dive. On today's episode of the Partners Podcast, we're gonna do a deep dive of the values, the conviction, the obsession that someone like Bryden has to have as a leader, and all the management strategies that he's had to implement to get to where he's at. You're on a run rate. You're about to hit almost 7 figures this year. Congratulations.
Hopefully, that's the goal.
Yeah, I love it. All right, let's go. Let's go to lunch. We're gonna grab some lunch first. Once again, when it comes to your editors, like you're not just the middleman, you're so much more.
Yeah.
You're bringing in the brand, you're bringing in the clients. You're having to be in a management role. And if you think about it, every company out there at some point at scale is middle management. One of my founding philosophies in business is never tell someone no. I think that's where a lot of industry leaders have failed in our industry, where, because of ego, because of whatever else there is, kind of in that way, they're so focused on their ambition and their goals and dreams. You should have big ambitions and goals, but you got to make sure the goals and dreams of your team members fit within that.
Yeah.
And so how do you help them achieve their goals and dreams is where you shift focus if you want to keep them long term.
For sure.
That's where you might end up spinning off other sub-franchises or other companies that you maybe own a piece of. Maybe there's some people at your company that they were never meant to stay at your company for more than 2 years.
Yeah.
And I have one of those guys at Acres Seattle, and we said, hey, this is what it looks like. Realistically, if you want to make more, we need to start a new territory.
Yeah.
We need to start an expansion into Portland from Seattle. And he's like, I wanted to move to LA or Miami. And we said, hey, Miami market is oversaturated, and same with Southern California. If you want good weather, but less opportunity, you can have a 9 weather and you can have a 6 opportunity. I think are pretty tough markets. They're very saturated with creatives that have a camera that don't know how to make a dollar, that are just offering free shoots and just trying to get into it. Whereas Portland, it's a little bit more boring market. It's not attracting everybody that wants to be Hollywood or be an influencer. And so we said, or do you want a 9 opportunity in a market that's, it's a nice city, but it's not glamorous like LA. So he's just I want the opportunity. I want to make, $200K plus a year. I want to be at one point $250,000. We said, hey, if you can help us scale Portland to $1 million and then $2 million a year, there's no reason why you're not there. So I didn't tell them no. I said, oh, I see your ambition. I see where you want to be.
Yeah.
Because you probably have seen it in the industry. There's a lot of people that could have had more if they chose to give more. But people think that people are in scarcity mode. They think their business and their market is all that there is.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas even in this market, there's so many things. You could easily pivot into staffing virtual assistants. You can pivot into other video industries. So there's so much potential just for you alone, that when you do find someone who wants to be entrepreneurial, use it to your advantage.
For sure.
Right? Use it to their advantage. Make it a win-win.
I got a question for you, man. Do you think right now with AI taking over that virtual assistant kind of job, or at least, making it so it's less relevant, would be a smart move and a business decision? Pivot that way?
I think with any company right now, about how much you lean into the technology. Yeah. If you say, hey, we're a virtual assistant company that is tech enabled, that we do AI trainings with our team every single week, and you're gonna get the productivity of 2 VAs for the price of 1.
Yeah.
I think you're in with the times.
For sure.
I think if you wanna be stubborn and be like, oh, humans are the best, they can do stuff that AI can never, I think that's a dumb fucking mentality to go into any industry with right now.
Yeah.
Agua sin gas y Coca-Cola cero.
I'll do water. Wetless. Yeah, thank you.
Anything else you want to like guacamole or something?
I'm not too hungry right now.
Yeah, gracias. So my childhood, I mean, I had a good childhood overall, but I guess what stands out is it wasn't super smooth by anyone's standards. Like my dad and I fought a lot. I got kicked out of my house. I would stay at my grandma's place, my friend's place. My mom had to like, you know, take me to, drive me like late at night to places because my dad just wasn't about me. Being very argumentative and like always having my peace of mind that I wanted to share. But you know, overall, I have a lot of blessings, you know, like food was always taken care of. When I first was growing up, like my sister had, three of my sisters shared a room and I had my own room, which was my dad's office. But then by middle school, we moved into a place where I had my own room. Two of my sisters shared one room and my other sister had her own room as well. And it was a nice big spot. But yeah, it took some time to like, because my dad was going through a lot of stress. He was dealing with lawsuits against his own family. His own family was trying to steal from him. So it was unfortunate. I was a funny kid in middle school. I was a class clown, and then I moved to high schools, and then I became pretty introverted for 4 years. Played a lot of video games like StarCraft, League of Legends, Dota, that type of stuff. What about you? What was your childhood like?
I would say a pretty normal childhood, you know what I mean? My two parents, they've been together my whole life. I played a lot of sports. I was a very, very competitive person, and I still am. And honestly, I think that's like what's given me leverage to be where I'm at today. Because anything I do, I just want to be the best at. I've had that in me from a little kid. And the same way for you. You said, you know, you played a lot of video games growing up. Every video game I played, like I had to be.
I had to be the best.
No, me too. I had to be like literally one of the best in the world at every video game I played. It was like.
Which games did you play?
I played like Fortnite. I played a lot. Call of Duty. I was always like top of the world. Like I would play. Like league play, BO2, I don't know if you know what that is. I was always like top 50 in the world.
Agua sin gas, por favor. Gracias.
You know, at first when I was growing up, I used to doubt like myself a lot. I used to like doubt my ability to, you know, continue to, I don't know, just be the best at whatever I do. But I've realized like growing up, like you can really do anything you want as long as you're obsessed with it. Like I was never a creative either, you know what I mean? Like I've never done anything creative in my life. Right after college, I went to college for HVAC. It's a great industry for money, but I absolutely hated it. It wasn't my passion at all. So after that, I'm like, screw this. I quit my, you know, $100,000 job to become a personal trainer making $30,000 a year. And I told myself, you know, if I want to make it, like I got to do everything I can for this. So I started doing social media content for that. And I got really good at that. And people told me like, Bryden, like why you didn't train? Like your quality of work is like, you know, like really good, you know, start filming. So then I started my real estate media company in Toronto, but I'm sure you know the Toronto market, you know, people doing it for $50 shoots.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I noticed that it's gonna be really hard for me to make a career out of this. After that, I reached out to Studio 910, joined them, was an editor there for a year, build my brand, and you know.
How did you get the opportunity with them? Like what was the first steps like that?
First off, I was good buddies with Gonzalo. I would always ask him for like editing advice and whatnot. And he kind of gave me access to Studio 910. I would talk to him, ask for editing advice a lot. And he would help me out, you know what I mean? So he got me to a place where I was good enough to be like an intern with Studio 910. I still wasn't anywhere near where I am today. But at the end of the day, that got my foot in the door. So, you know, I always, you know, always have Gonzalo's back for that. You know, he gave me an opportunity that changed my life. And,
that's awesome.
At that point, I was 25. I was like, if I want to do anything with my life, now's the time. I'm in the prime of like my health, my mental health. So I just told myself, this is it. You know, whatever hours you have to put in, you know, put in the work. Be obsessed with the craft, be obsessed with learning and growing. It's more about how obsessed you are than actually just being creative. Anybody can get good at anything as long as you put in the work. You know? Genuinely.
I've seen people pick it up quick, you know, in this industry, like be able to be like a top shooter or editor within like 3 months. Right? I would say is like if you're obsessed enough, you can be a top in 3 months.
I agree.
Obviously, maybe not the best in the industry, but like at least top 10%. In 3 months.
No, absolutely, I agree. And that's what I even see, like, in my company is like editors can join and be really good in a month. It just depends on what kind of work you put.
Yeah. What's your love life been like? You been focused just on your grind?
I don't know if we should talk about that one yet, bro.
You don't have to share the dirty deeds, but like, like how have you treated like relationships like while you have your career so like up there in terms of your priority?
That's a good question. I think, for me, you can always find a balance. A lot of people say like, you can't, have a girlfriend while you're building a business, or, you can't have this and that. At the end of the day, you have 16 hours you're awake, right? You can do a lot of work in 8 to 10 hours and still have 6 hours to spend with a partner, you can still be with your partner while you're working. Yeah. I think it's just more about effort than it is like actually being like obsessed with your work and whatnot,
Well, there was, I'm like someone who, whatever I do, I'm like all in one direction or another. So when I first was at Aero Canvas, I literally worked 80 hours a week for 2 years straight. Wow. I couldn't turn it off.
That's crazy.
And like, even when I was like, I think I went on 1 or 2 dates, I was still on my phone more than I was at the date. And then they're like, what am I even doing here?
Yeah.
After that, I went on the other side of the pendulum and I started partying a lot and going out a lot, and I lost the respect of my team. And so the balance is super important, because at one point, like, I was obsessed with work. Even when my friends hung out with me, they're like, bro, I don't even feel like you're here. You're just on your phone the whole time.
Yeah, man, to be honest, I like the grind, man. Like, I like the grind. I like having it like very straightforward in my life, you know what I mean? Like, wake up at 7 a.m., either go to the gym or get straight to work, and then when I have free time, I have free time. That's how I like my life, man. I don't know. I guess I'm different in that sense. Like I said, I'm a very obsessed person. So it's like one thing you're obsessed with, everything else is like secondary, and that's how I like to live, man. You know what I mean? I don't know.
And I'm the same way. I mean, even with my wife, like for the first 2 years of our relationship, I told her, hey, work is my priority. Like, you're like, I love you, but you're like second to my work right now.
Yeah.
And she was super supportive of that, which made it easier to be in a relationship, because I know there's a lot of women and men that say, hey, if you're not prioritizing me over everything else, then I don't want to be in this relationship.
Yeah, man. I think when you're in a relationship and you have a business, it's very important to kind of set like expectations, like in terms of you tell your partner like, hey, like I'm an entrepreneur. I want to build this, not for me, but for our future as well. So, to have you along the ride, like I would love your support any type of way. Like, if you set that framework, I think it sets you up for like a good relationship, And like in my past relationships, I've been able to do that, Like my partner was like, knew I was very obsessed with my craft, being an editor. And, she was very happy for all the success I had. Yeah, I think if you set that up right, like you're gonna do big things with your relationship and your business.
And I like that, because that's what we talked about earlier, the focus on good communication. Like if you can't set those expectations, you're pretty much like leading someone on. And we know like the implications of that when it comes to business. You set the wrong expectations, like it hurts your brand, it hurts everything. It hurts the experience, it hurts revenue long term. How have you been able to set expectations with like people in your life? Like I know family's important for you. Yeah. Like how do you balance that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, although maybe I'll go back home to see my parents and my family, at the end of the day, I'll always make that effort, but they understand like what I'm doing and what I'm trying to build. So even though I'll go home, I think it's more about just the effort of like being there. You know what I mean? Like even if I'm there working, they know I'm not just staying at home, just saying like, I don't want to visit. Like for me, even though I have my own place now, every weekend I'll go back and stay at my parents' house just to, and I'll bring my whole setup too. I'll bring everything, but they just understand that like, he's making the effort to come here. He'll eat dinner with us as a family. And yeah, I think that's a good enough balance to like keep those relationships as well. Maybe.
I see you're wearing a cross, and over the years, I've met more and more people that I really respect that are, men of faith. What does like, I guess, that mean to you, and how do you practice your faith?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I would say, 2 years ago, I wasn't a very religious person. And you go through changes in life, whether it's like relationships, whether it's with your family, whether it's with, people you love, and you just realize that you need to put attention to that as well, put attention to your religion, and over the last year, I would say I got closer with God. And, it's surprising, like, all of this success I've had has come within the year too. And just putting time aside to practice that as well. And like, really having a moral compass is something like, I wouldn't say I lacked before, but it's something that I didn't really have like a punishment for, you know what I mean? Like if you do something bad, you're just like, there's no punishments. Before I would say I was more so atheist, you know what I mean? Like I genuinely didn't believe in God. I always just believed, science, can kind of like, what's the word? Like compromises religion, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, recently I realized that you can have both. You can believe in science and believe in God, and as long as you have that moral compass, good things will come. And I've seen that as well in my life.
Thanks for the insights. What would you say was the moment that made you want to go more into faith?
Well, last year my relationship ended with my long-term partner, and through that situation, I realized there's a lot of things that I was doing that were kind of ungodly, I would say, that kind of strayed me away from having somebody I could live the rest of my life with, you know what I mean? And just having that perspective and thinking about, okay, what went wrong in my relationship, right? There's a lot of things I realized that were, religion based, right? That I wanted to change for myself, and I realized that, a relationship like that, it's more about love than it is anything else. It's not like just a connection on earth, it's a spiritual connection, and you need to embrace that, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff I realized that if I could have done right with my mental and my religion, that it would have changed the direction of my relationship. And that kind of led me more so to God. I grew up Catholic as well. My mom was Catholic.
Gracias. What? Sure you don't want one of these?
I'll have one, yeah, if you don't mind.
All right, let's eat.
Let's eat.
So what are you gonna do if, like, let's just say you did have a personal brand? What would you do with it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I can offer a lot in terms of like my lifestyle too, like how I balance like fitness and like I keep everything dialed. But again, like I would need to figure out. I think when you have a personal brand, you have to like, it's all about funneling it properly into like, something you sell, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's not like just randomly about your life every day.
Yeah, you gotta monetize it. Otherwise, it's like,
what do
you just want to be a celebrity?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know what I'll do. I think I have a lot of avenues to go, man. I think realistically, it's just the beginning of what I'm doing. So I don't think I'll be in the editing space the rest of my life. So. Yeah, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
Good, guys. Welcome to Casa de Hustle. We're here hosting Bryden. We're gonna show them a little bit around what we have going on here, and what we do here on a day-to-day basis. So let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, so pretty much don't excuse the mess, bro. It's pretty messy right now, but we often have people just come, co-working. We often have this place as a co-working space. Ariana right here, she pretty much does social media content for contractors, and she also does content for us, by the way. So I'm excited to see how that goes with her. And then over here, the best part of the house, bro.
That's
the
crazy.
View. Come on, let's go check it out, bro.
Oh my goodness.
This is probably like the best part of the house. I kind of feel like a asshole sometimes because I don't feel like I enjoy it as much, but that's why we always host events. Brendan hosts his events here too because every time we have people over, they just enjoy the view, bro. Like it's just so peaceful.
It's incredible.
The pool, the jacuzzi, the hammock, Anthony's favorite part. Anthony probably spends like 6 hours a day on this hammock. I'm just like, bro, we have to be fucking closing deals, bro. Come on. And then obviously workstation right there. Yeah, and then another workstation right here. Don't mind it's a little bit of mess, but gotta have the caffeine ready. Gets the day going. But yeah, bro, beautiful place. I'm glad you came. Have you enjoyed it so far?
I've enjoyed it, man.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Another big part of this house, man, is like this beautiful staircase, man. Like, I just like how it's very open. You come into the door, the staircase does a little curve. Obviously, all the rooms are massive. Each room has its own bathroom, which is very, very cool because, now you don't have to be sharing whenever you have several guests. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're having a good time, and I hope we've been good hosts because...
No, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
It's been great being here. What's going on, guys? So I'm here. I'm going to be showing you guys basically how we operate at Cliffside, how, what kind of process we have in terms of revisions, what kind of videos we do on a daily basis. Currently, our team pushes out around 50 videos a day, right? So QC can get extensive, but at the end of the day, we have our systems in place to make sure every single video we do is seen by either me or one of our senior editors, to make sure, our videos are always fire. So, let's take a look at one of the videos we have here. All right, guys, so this is a video from, like I said, one of our editors, Jordan. Let's take a watch. So you can see here, our client left some notes for our editors. So, when we deliver a video, it's always going to be on frame.io. So all of our clients can leave revisions if they need changes. And that kind of allows the customality from a client perspective as well. So you guys can send your order in. Obviously we do everything to Cliffside standard, and then when the video is done, you can leave any feedback that you want, and you'll get the video back within 1 business day. We edit your footage, we make it fire, and we send it back to you with the product to deliver.